All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having yourselves a fantastic start to the AM here. Happy, I was gonna say Wednesday, but happy Monday. And welcome to the start of another good and hopefully right pretty profitable trading week. Last week we definitely had some ups and downs. Markets weren't always super easy for us, but we kept it kind of going, right? It was taking it one trade at a time, take it one opportunity time, right? Take it one setup at a time. And we put ourselves in situations where, yeah, it was easy to kind of play the numbers game, right? To a certain extent. Um, and hopefully, right, we can continue down this path. Now, we got a couple things, right, that we're starting to like creep towards here a little bit. Um, I mentioned this last week, but this will probably be the focus next week. Um, Next week, right? Markets, okay, they're going to be pretty close to untradable on the Monday. And then they're going to be open normally Tuesday, Wednesday, and then market holiday the 19th, and then open again on the 20th. So markets are closed on the 19th, right? I'm going to take the Friday off and just kind of turn that into a long weekend. I don't think I'm going to be super focused post a Thursday siesta. So that's sort of the logic around that. But the goal, right, is to turn Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right, into sort of a quote unquote like clinic, right, type thing. So spend one day focusing on sort of the strategy, spend one day focusing on risk management, and then spend one day sort of focusing on psychology and other kind of various questions. And hopefully, right, use that information as kind of like a boot camp, right? Maybe is the right term for it. And just like a knowledge boot camp type thing. This week, right, we're creeping into the roll. So before we get there, right, we're creeping into the roll here, and expect that volume to switch from the June contract to the September contract as we creep up closer towards the end of the week. Maybe by like Thursday or Friday, right? We might get a little bit of an opportunity where things will start to change a little bit. And we might have to switch away from ES1 into the actual specific September contract, which I think is ESU, I think, right? Yeah. So September will be ESU. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, it should still be fine. We shouldn't have too much of an issue here with the roll getting in the way today. But you never know, right? How things can react, and markets will always surprise me. So not too worried about that. But besides that, right? Kind of have two goals for this week. One, right, have a calm trading week, right? Be really deliberate, be really focused. Look for kind of clean trading opportunities. You know, if I think about last week, right, Monday and Friday were nice and calm days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right, we had to work a little bit harder for our money. So if I can get days where they're just a little bit smoother, a little bit easier, no problem. The second objective here, right, that I have is just to be like really happy with the quality of like how I'm managing trades once I'm in them. I think by the end of the week there last week, right? Particularly on Friday, like I was a little bit just like fried from a mental capital perspective. It had been a long week, right? We had to work pretty freaking hard to make some money, and that made it so that when I was in winning trades, you know, maybe I wasn't getting the best closes, and then before entering trades, right, I wasn't necessarily getting the best entries. And so, you know, that's something that I want to think about here a little bit today, but it's just going to be really about a focus on just being really technically proficient here this morning, right? So, you know, anytime you feel like you're slipping away or um, you know, you're like deviating away from something, Generally, my anecdote to that, right, is to really focus on the technical elements behind why I want to not only take trades, right, which is kind of the first element, but then also why I want to stay in them, and hopefully, right, try to get a little bit of some more follow through, right, on some of my positions. It's not anything like crazy dramatic here, right? Obviously, I'm still pretty happy with the P&L I had last week, but there was like I was looking back at it this week. There was like 4 trades this week where I literally closed it like less than a combined minute and a half too early, which ended up then giving me 50, 60, 70 point moves after, right, literally like moments after I closed. So I want to avoid feeling as if I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. Again, like I said, right, the counter to that, focus on being more technically proficient, right? So why am I in a position? Why am I willing to trust this position? Why am I looking to get out? And to be a bit more specific with those elements. So this week, right, is really all about compounding really good information. You need to change your password on Top Step, Jeff. They're going to make you change your password. So hopefully, right, yeah, we can set ourselves up for a strong session here today. But those are really the focuses and the elements. And then again, right, we're looking to keep compounding off of I guess, like the starting point we had there last week, where we just took a little bit longer, right, to kind of let things come together to a certain extent. Yeah, like let's see, right, because market continues to still stay within that sort of consolidation range and that coiling range. And we'll see from there. All right, let me try to log into my accounts when we're done here in a sec. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't logged into my accounts here yet. It's usually the last thing I do. So I'll check in a sec here, guys. But yeah, let's fire through this prep. How's everyone's weekend? How's everyone feeling today? Everyone feeling good? Good team. And yeah, I really liked the discussion that we had in the Discord here this weekend. I really liked everyone's focus and appreciated everyone sharing their stories. Hey, Bradley, you're the first one to drop a comment there on YouTube. All right. So first things first here, economic calendar for today. Wholesale inventories, cool, no problem. And then just sanity check here. Again, okay, wholesale inventories. We got some data at 10 a.m. Nothing too crazy. So what's the count here on ES? Let's start there. Oh, and before we keep going, I scripted out pretty much all the videos I want to film. I didn't have the chance to film them all here this weekend. So you guys bear with me a little bit. I have was it 3, 6, 9 more videos coming. So bear with me on the how to trade section. That's going to be basically my homework for the rest of the week. But yeah, Mike, spot on, right? 2 out of 3 here to the upside without volume. Still basically just looking for that breakout here. So ideally, right, what we want to see here this AM. So if we're saying that we're without volume, what do we want to see? Right, what's the missing ingredient? Well, so far, price action is telling us that it's the same story as yesterday's open. We want to basically be judging now, yesterday's close or yesterday's or Friday's price action in general. What we want to be looking at here now is basically for the volume to return, right? So we want to see bulls to step in, right, with volume if they're going to break out or if bears are going to reject. right? We want it to be on a larger volume, right, than the quote unquote consolidation volume we established there on Friday. So we want to see ideally, right, a larger open than anything we saw there Friday, or like a larger 30 minutes, right? Whatever it might be. All right, so ES, we're at what, 60.15 here pre-market. It's going to be, I think, 60.30 as our starting point there to the upside, right? So that's fine. To the downside, we're looking for a fake out, right, above basically this 60.23 area, right, and then a breakdown back down towards the trend line. So 59.50 is what we had there on Friday. You can go 59.90, trying to get a billion levels here. So I mean, that's way too many. So we'll have this mapped out just towards 5,900, just kind of on the dot. But yeah, like a move back towards the trend line, right? Maybe is the most likely outcome here today. Just continue that consolidation. Eventually, right? This is going to give us a pop here. And let's see if we can get it. Basically, let's be patient, right? Until we get that, and assume chop and fake outs, right? Until proven otherwise. And hopefully, right, we can establish that volume standard here early to build up that enthusiasm and really show us, right, that we're going to have like a difference compared to the chop and consolidation. Okay. NQ, similar, not so similar. How do we feel? Yeah, same story, right? 2 out of 3 to the upside without volume. Okay, and we're looking what 21.9, right, is going to be our starting point here to the upside. So I don't have to go 950. Hey, good morning, Suresh. So 21.9, right? Then we're going up and over 22,000, right, up towards ATH or all-time highs. To the downside, we're looking at what 21.7 as our starting point. So a little bit more reasonable. I mean, it's a pointless term, but yeah, a little bit more maybe space there to the downside, and then we've got what 1,100 points mapped out. Obviously, would not expect us to get that much follow through here today. That would be insane, I think, is probably a nice way of describing it. And then yeah, we can do or see basically if we can get that resolution breakout. You know, maybe from like a technical perspective, ES could be a little bit easier for us to trade today than NQ. I don't say that too often, and I kind of say that with gritted teeth a little bit here. But yeah, well, let's see which one gives us sort of the most enthusiasm here this AM. All right, CL, how do we feel? To count. Yeah, 2 out of 3 to the upside with volume. So we've got trending price action here higher, which definitely makes sense, right? With the kind of like chart that we have drawn out, right? So a bit of a wedge breakout, consolidation, high volume breakout through consolidation. Yeah, you're in the chat right now, Ninja. You know, when you're on trial and you're doing it, you have to use the YouTube chat. Unfortunately, that's the only way to do it. So if you have any questions, right, please feel free to use the chat you're using at the moment. Or, right, yeah, I'm responding to your question. Yeah, so it's the daily time frame here, right? Looking at the previous daily candle, the previous volume standard, and then today's price action. Jonathan, you can find a more detailed version of that or of this pre-market strategy inside the trading docs or start here channel of the Discord. But yeah, we've got trending price action here to the upside, right? We've cleared through our hurdles so far here on volume. And today, right, we're looking for a continuation narrative or a dip buy and go, right? So it'd be like a dip buy off of the previous breakout high. So approximately like 64.20. Right. And then a breakout above whatever pre-market highs are. So 65. And then, next point of contact on this trend line, we're looking up towards 67. So decent amount of space there for us to the upside here. If we're looking at our tradable names, right, definitely NQ. Hate to say it, right, but maybe the least appealing of them all here today. So let's see where that enthusiasm shows up right this morning. But CL bullish bias, ESNQ can look to trade in both directions, but want to see volume step in, right, and really establish a narrative prior to being aggressive. Okay. Apple 2 out of 3 here to the upside without volume. Not exactly a great looking 2 out of 3. We'll call this a weak one. Okay. Tesla inside bar. Okay, Microsoft 1 for 3. Keep doing minus signs. Amazon 2 out of 3 without volume. Big gap up. This would be a mean reversion setup. AMD inside bar. Oh, we nailed that call on Friday. Okay, NVIDIA inside bar as well. Meta, Doji decreasing volume, gapping down technically 20 cents. So we will call that a 1 for 3 here to the upside. Netflix, lower low. 47-cent gap down. So 2 out of 3 here to the downside without volume. And then Google, green candle, decreasing volume, gap up. So 2 out of 3 to the upside without. And then the old VIX-Aruni, right? 17 spot 49. Not quite sure why I say it that way. But yeah, 17 spot 49 here. So yeah, looking pretty reasonable. And yeah, let's see if we can get ourselves a little bit of oomph. Obviously, the implied range here today of about 1%. We're less than that here so far pre-market. And let's see how she goes in. Any questions here, team? How's everyone feeling? Good, good. Nice, Mark. Sounds like a great start to the morning. Yesterday, I had my first bear encounter with my dog. He was quite the chill boy about it. It was definitely something interesting. He did not react at all, so I was very proud of Ricky. So if market sells off here today, right, you'll know. Oh, nothing too crazy from like we're not changing the schedule here too much, Rebecca. Um it's that markets are closed right on the 19th. So next Thursday. So I'll be taking the 19th and the 20th off. So there will be no issues there. The other thing, right, is that because the 19th is going to be kind of a weird day and Monday is the contracts futures roll, there might be, or like next week might be pretty slow the 16th, the 17th, and the 18th. Um, just as like, maybe the first official week of like summer trading, or the first kind of official week where people are going to be taking a decent amount of time off. So I was going to turn obviously a trading day, right, as well on the 16th, 17th, 18th, but to turn them into a boot camp day. So one day would be strategy focused, one day would be like risk management and entry focused, and then one day would be like psychology and scaling accounts focused. So just like turn each of those days into like a little bit of a boot camp day, where I can kind of like fire through a bunch of concepts and answer questions and kind of turn them into like kind of group coaching sessions if things are quiet. So that's sort of the base idea. Not changing anything else from like a schedule perspective, but just figured I'd share with you guys like the upcoming programming notes, if that makes sense. Um, RJ, maybe I don't know what browser you're using, but maybe refreshing or trying a different browser could smooth out that difference here a little bit. Any other questions here, team? All right, I'm gonna go make myself a quick cup of coffee, grab my laptop, and yeah, just be back in a second here. All right, so we're back. No issues with my Tradevate login here. Um, yeah, obviously, if you guys have any issues, just be patient, right? Eric, so you had a question there that you asked this morning in the vetted prop firms channel. So the trade copier allows you to copy trades from a trading combine to an express funded account, and then from an express funded account to a trading combine, but only when they're on the same dashboard. So if you signed up with a singular email, they will all eventually be put on the same dashboard. I imagine that's what their maintenance is here this morning. All right. So, like I said, maybe a slightly easier trading day for us here today with ES and CL. They're a little bit closer potentially to that breakout, just from like an early point here this morning. But we're going to be looking to judge, right, whichever one has like just the most impressive volume standard here today. We want to see basically where that momentum is, and maybe some of our leading names are kind of telling us like various elements, right, of consolidation or breakout, right, or whatever. So we're going to want to see which names basically establish themselves as like the leaders in the clubhouse here this morning. Is it going to be a Netflix? Is it going to be a Meta, right? Is it going to be back to the chip makers, and seeing basically which one of those push? But right now, as long as we have a pretty punchy divergence between Apple, Microsoft, and Tesla, we're probably going to struggle to get super clean price action on NQ. Not to say that those aren't heavy weightings as well on ES, but if ES has already cleared some of its resistance, while NQ hasn't, and we have less leading names getting in the way, maybe that's a scenario that's a little bit easier for us to manage here this morning. So, any questions here, team? Everyone feeling good? Everyone feeling refreshed after the weekend? We're pushing ahead here today, right? Going for day number 10 in a row. That's the objective. And so we're not thinking about forcing ourselves to be green here today. That's going to happen just from naturally trading. We're focusing on the technical reasons, right, that make our trades strong. So why, right? I mentioned an entry, why I'm interested in a take profit here, why I'm interested in closing my risk, right? Or closing my trades and managing my risk. The more that I can obsess over those variables and those details, the better my trading is going to go. So that's the obsession, right? That's the focus here today. Then hopefully can go from there. Yeah, makes sense, everybody. Yeah. Yes, no, maybe. All right, all right. Okay. Just sanity checking. It's early this morning. So take it slow, right? What size accounts are you trading, Ninja? Okay, so trade micros, right? Trade really small sizing. And maybe first couple trades of the day, right? You go like paper trade or something along those lines. But if you're feeling stressed out and you're feeling anxious, that's a good way, right, to continue to feel stressed out and anxious and to make decisions that impact that. Okay, so pretty big sellers across the board here at market open. Volume wise, we're not quite there yet. I don't know if we're going to be close or not. NQ indecisive and small range. ES a better sized range, right? 10-ish points. But volume, not perfect. NQ, kind of, I'd say probably a worse range, maybe a more impressive volume standard. But I mean, like a high volume indecision isn't exactly enthusiastic. Okay. So off the open, not the best volume standard. Okay. So that would have been a 3 minute mean reversion breakdown alert there. Average win of 40 odd points. Big move. Like this. So 606 would be your stop loss here. 4 points of risk, 3 points of risk. This would be your reference price. Let's start to take a look here. Stop loss 60, called 607. And you'd be looking at 2 contracts here for now. Maybe a bit more. Get a deeper pullback. And right now, no. I honestly just missed my entry. No, my setup trigger is just the mean reversion. I'm not overthinking it besides that. Just be patient here. Have everything set up, right? This point exactly, this 602, right? That's my $500 worth of risk. So at the very least, right, need a better entry than 02. Come on. Okay, back to that 02. Let's watch. All right, guys. So I'm in short. 2 contracts, 602.75, 602.75. Stop loss 607. Where's my notebook? Today's the 9th, right? Yeah, it's a 2-minute signal. All right, let's see if we can break down here. So surprisingly chill. Which what I'm doing here in the meantime, right, is I'm just filling in my trading journal, right? So writing down stuff that I won't forget, right, or can't forget. Right, the sooner I can write down what's going on in my head, right, the likelier it is for me to remember that when I go fill in my information later. Let's see if this thing wants to cooperate there a little bit. Don't want to see it really stay pulling back here. Not a perfect entry, right? Better entry would have been like what Brooke got. Yeah, for sure, Nick, for sure. The idea, right, with getting the pullback entry above 6,000 is it kind of gives us fake out insurance. So if it does give us that breakdown right through those lows, I'm able to take basic profit off right on that move instead of chasing it once it happens. Bit of a slower start here. Yeah, I took the stop loss there at 607. We'll come back to that thesis here potentially today. But for now, let's wait. Too appealing here yet. And that was minus 433.56. Bit of slippage on my exit. Like waiting to see if we can get an increasing volume standard anywhere. And the answer is no. By the looks of it. Maybe a bit unlucky with the stop loss. Either way, if you're not green within the first candle or first couple candles, right? What else are you wrong about? I think that's one of those scenarios. CL, if we can get a high volume reversal off of these lows, that would be interesting. And Q pushing back up towards 8. Interesting. A little green to red reversal action here. Sorry, red to green reversal action here. And your reference price, right, would be this previous high. So 789.50. Oh, now no, be lower. I'm being super honest, doesn't exactly feel if bulls were strong and they were defending, probably not the reaction we would get, right, where we're pushing our stop loss down twice. Let's wait it out for a second. Okay, so 682 would be the stop now. Sorry, 782. Jeez. So 782 stop loss, right? And actually, you could go 2 contracts here. I'm waiting. I'm being very patient. A little higher high, higher low. Okay, so now stop loss would be 779. On those pullbacks away from 800, it feels like it's happening just a little bit too much enthusiasm. I'm not super interested in it yet. That kind of feels like a rejection. Same thing on ES a little bit. Oh, CL might be the one to focus on. See how this candle closes. That's an okay close. Target here, right? You'd be looking at the 2R range. So stop loss for now would be 64.39. So you'd be looking at 5 contracts here. At least based on my risk, right? I'd be looking at 5 contracts. Maybe a bit more. All right, so it'd be like 6 contracts. Now 7. Is it stuck? All right. 49. All right. So I'm in 646 on a CL, 646. Stop loss 639, or sorry, 64.39. Okay. Come on. Stopped me out. Down 3 men. Lame. Oh, it might be just a ruthless shake and fake. It's a ruthless shake and fake on CL. Ruthless, ruthless, ruthless. The other element here is now playing this breakout. 801.75. Okay. So watching NQ here. If I got stopped out on that. So stop here, 801. See if it finds support. 52, still pretty early. Okay, so watching for sure. 2 contracts here. Okay, sweet. So I'm in at 21,811. Looks weird on my screen, but in 21,811. 2 contracts, stop loss 801. Can't type. Did it? There it is. It's kind of a bullshit feeling move so far. Yeah, I took the stop loss minus 340. Keep getting faked out of these moves here a little bit. All right, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to write in my journal first. There's two fake outs. It's annoying. All right. Day start here. $56. A little bit of time. Stop would have to be $7.99. Okay, so let this candle close here. Let's say it's been one bad entry, right, on that initial ES trade, and then 2 fake outs since then. Kind of frustrating. Still watching here, still watching. Okay. All right, guys, I'm in I am in average price 806.50, 806.50. That thing is not updating here. Prices were not updating there for a second. But I did get stopped out. Weird. Hmm. Something looks weird with my prices. This is what I'm trying to investigate here right now. I'm sorry for just being a little bit quiet here. Something looks a little bit off with my prices. Right now, I'm in my order window, or sorry, I'm in my positions tab, and it says that I have an open position at 798.75, which is it's effectively where I had my previous stop loss. So it's like I have a position open from there. But it's weird. It should be up more than what it says. My profit says minus 30. A little bit confused by that. When I'm looking at my order quantity too, there would be nothing that indicates that I left a hanging order. So I'm a little bit not quite sure what's going on here. It's strange. And this CL one's the most painful. The way the prices are changing inside my order window is really weird too. Strange start. All right, so watching crude here, right? We've got a high vol breakout now at on the 5-min candle. Maybe this could be something that's in play for us. Man, that guy's been like banned twice. Pain in the ass. The old shake and fake here today. Still have that open order from 798. Not letting me close it. Some weird. No, no, I'm not, Jonathan. No, I'm not. I'm watching here. Yeah, well, that's where I'm at right now. But when I do click button, it's like it's not there. I'm not quite sure. Nice, Mike. Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out here. Why I'm not going after anything at the moment. But yeah, if you don't have oversight over what your positions are, yeah, you should not be trading. Yeah, guys, the basics here. I'm gonna fire out a test order. Give me a second. I'm just gonna be firing out a test order here, and let's see if this thing fills. All right, it did. I've got oversight. Then once I'm in a position, it's not updating P&L, risk exposure, so that kind of stuff. So kind of flying blind a little bit. Strange start to the AM. Strange start. A weird AM. All right. Well, I'm going to close that Phantom order. That open one here. Okay. That's just what that was, right? Just to make sure that things were working the way that I expected. Yeah, CL for sure looks the most promising. If we can get a tight risk reward here, right? Be interesting for sure. Again, we're targeting upper end of the range. So 64, 63 would be the stop. That's probably a little bit too tight. So probably drop it down a little bit, right? 64, 62. And we've seen this thing fake out already, right? So we won't get the chance for it, but that would be what I'm looking for to a certain extent. 64, 62. Okay, let's see if this now finds support, right? That's that fake out we were possibly talking about. Ooh, 821 on NQ. ES not moving. So it is NQ that's actually giving us residual strength here today. Play this 5-min here as well. So 817 stop loss. Brutal. One contract, right? It'd be one contract. And your reference price here, right, would be previous high a day, approximately 828. And now you can go two contracts. 828 would be two. Ooh, close. Okay, watching. Hey guys, I'm in 828.25. 828.25, two contracts. And PNL is not updating here. But price is. So in 828.25. 817 is my stop loss. Okay, so you can keep going here, but so far so good. Far so good. 61 ticks here so far, right? Cannot complain about that. Let's see if this thing can keep pushing higher here and keep breaking out. But finally, right? Didn't get shaked out of a trade. What a wonderful life. There's a part of me that wants to pyramid in here a little bit. On this pullback into like 40. Behaving pretty well. Force myself to think here a little bit. Okay, so I have just pyramided in here, guys. I have just pyramided in. Average price is now 35.75. It was a good pyramid. Pyramid price of what was it? 643, 643.50. So average price is now 635.75. Approximately here. So that red line, right, is my average price. And see if this thing can get me up and over here. We're looking now for that 650 breakout, right? And where it finds support to basically push our stop loss into. That was a bit faster than I maybe would have liked. Kind of feels like it's hitting a wall there, right? Just a little bit. I have a weird sensation with my order window being my order window working fine, but my P&L not updating. Feels kind of weird. Come on. Good exit, Mike. Good work. Last fill price, it was 843.50. 843.50. I actually don't think it was a bad pyramid at all. I actually think it was a really good pyramid. So now let's see if we can get that breakout over 850 and then start to go squeeze mode here a little bit. There's 852, 853. Beautiful. That should now put you green here on the day. And not by a lot, but it does put you green. So let's see if this thing continues to have some juice. But nice trading day here. And it's 855. Oh, it is really bothering me not having the I have to calculate the P&L by myself here. It is bothering me. Stop loss right on this position is now like this, right? So 839.50 stop loss. Obviously, I'm not going to let it, I don't want it to, I'm not going to try to let it to go down there. I'm going to want to look to close this if it doesn't hold above that 850 here in a moment. What's the time here? 7:19, still early. Feels maybe later than that. All right, so 30 seconds to go. It's got to close above 850. Come on. Like it for sure was there for a second. 10 seconds. Ooh. It was on the 5-min this time, worth noting. Okay, so didn't close above 50, guys. I'm going to be looking at closing this on a quick little pop higher if I can. So I was going to give it a little bit of time here. Give me a little bit of a pop. 56, 57. All right, guys. I have closed there. I have closed there. Exit price was 456.50. All out 456.50. Great win. Okay, so it does put me now nicely green here. Excuse me, nicely, but it does put me green on the day here, up about $300.60. And a good little trade there. Very good little trade. Eight to 825. All right. How's everyone feeling? I'm still a little bit gutted about getting shaken out on CL. That's fine. What were you targeting, AJ or AJ? How'd you miss it? So why? So why, guys, right? Okay. Well, we had two contracts. You still had 15 points of space where you could have gone one contract, right? And still entered that position. So the discipline move, right, isn't to not take it. It's to find your entry, but to size down, right? That's the discipline move. Right. So our trade was mapped out like this, right? With an entry target of 828. So that means you're risking 11 points here, right? So that's two contracts. Anywhere still under this green line, right? And this red line, anywhere inside that zone is still an appropriate entry. Just above that blue line, right? You're no longer going two contracts, you're going one. So a disciplined entry, right, is anywhere still inside that fib tool where you're getting the appropriate risk reward ratio. An undisciplined entry, right, is buying two contracts at 834 or at 839 and chasing that trade. This is why I ask everyone to think about their position sizing there independently, is so that you can be dynamic, right, with your position sizing and be able to make those changes if you're not able to get that exact same entry, because you still had 5, 6 points of space right there where you could have jumped in. And all you needed to have done, right, is just size down your position to be able to have made that money. So when we're not thinking about our own entries, right, that's the inevitable outcome. When we try to make them our own, right, and we study why we're making our entry decisions, we're not going to feel hesitant there and call our indecision discipline. Okay, good close on NQ, all things considered. And it was the right decision at the time. CL continues to go full squeeze mode. Still a little bit gutted I'm not in from that 46 handle still, but that's the way she goes. I mean, this would be where you're at here with CL. Now, as is, right, 11 points, you'd be looking at under 5 contracts. It's a little bit of deja vu to that first trade where it's like once it was in that zone, it kind of got stuck and then it flushed and then it reversed. I'm going to wait that out just for a second. NQ, I could possibly trade this on the 10, 56 to 46. That's good risk. That's good risk on the 10. You'd be looking at something like this. So stop loss, like I said, would be 46. I don't know why I've got some queen stuck in my head here. Okay, so watching here. Too fast so far, too fast. Or like if I'm saying, hey, what does strong price action look like? Not sure if this would be it yet. Yeah, I still think there's still enough action for us here, Brooke. I'm not too worried about the volume standard here yet. Fine. Yeah, we're gonna stay away from NQ to the upside. Maybe starting to get like a bit of a mean reversion look here lower. About that time of day for it. So we're looking at this. Stop loss 868. 21,868. The thing, right, we want to be kind of watching to a certain extent is we want to be hyper paranoid of this being a fake out first. Although now, right, not quite behaving like one. So if it goes aggressive, right, stop loss would then go 860. Okay, nope. Chill now. Better. No. Okay. Interesting move. Well, I never jumped in, so fine. We talked about, right, being hyper paranoid of the fake out. That's pretty much exactly what happened. Like an explosion of that magnitude almost feels more like bullish capitulation, though, than it does of continuation. So this might be a double fake out opportunity here. Stop loss would be 878. Okay, so I'm in, guys. 863 double fake out thesis. Stop loss 878. Stopped out. Only had the one contract, but that didn't come together the way that I wanted. And now it's yeah, it's gone higher. You know, at least now we know we're looking for the upside here. Wild price action. Kind of a weird candle. I mean, we are looking for a long here, guys. We for sure would be looking for a long here for now. Can't fight that volume. All right, so question is, where would we be targeting here? Trying to think of where the logical profit target for this needs to be. I'm kind of thinking I can probably talk myself into that 22,000. Worried a little bit that maybe things are starting to turn. And NQ's holding up better than I expected here today, all things considered. It again kind of showing us its personality here today. Yeah, that's what I'm watching for here, Brooke. The question is here, right? Is that previous high of day act as support, or do we get back under it easily? If we get back under it easily, then maybe this is like a capitulation type move. If it acts as support, then maybe we've got another leg here higher. Come on. Oh, kind of a nothing candle there. CL, not quite enough of a strong enough candle shape to want to be aggressive. Hmm. Well, maybe price action is just like an incy bincy stuck here. I gotta walk away with my $67. Green is green, that's for sure. I can't still feel like there's still a little bit of action out there, or there's still like some good volatility left. Just wonder how long it might take. Hmm. Very limited enthusiasm here at the moment. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, this ES here to the downside would be probably the most appealing. Failed breakout higher, failed breakout lower, targeting a move back down towards low of day. So you'd be looking at this here. Yeah, I mean NQ would, but I don't have it cracking through that previous candle's low here yet. So ES a little bit closer potentially to that variant. On setup. Fuck me. All right. Been annoyed with my trade evade issues today. All right. 60-10, right, would be the stop loss. Okay, watching. Reference price is here-ish. Blue line, right? That might not be possible. Okay, let's see how this thing closes. A close under basically 846 on NQ. That would give us that story. Otherwise, right, we're continuing to focus here on ES. Close, 15 seconds. Okay. It's just not good enough of a close. Okay, so I'm still watching here. There's that 609. Gonna give it a second. We know this market wants to fake me out, so I'm just gonna be patient. We love a nasty fake out here at the moment, right? Love one. So being patient here, guys, right? There's that possible fake out. It's almost a market where you seem to be buying your stop losses. All right. So stop loss would be 1050. So I'd add an extra 2 ticks on this. Okay, watching. For now, it's 4 contracts. And now it could be 5. Hey guys, I'm in 808.50. Sorry, 608.50. I said 808. 608.50. Short. Beautiful. So far, so good. All right, who's in this? Okay, so now, guys, right? You're in this position. Make sure you have a plan on how you're going to be managing this trade. Right? Don't succumb to your impulses. Be specific, right, over how you want to see price action behave. If you don't get that reaction, right, it's time to get out. So let's see if this thing can flush here. Otherwise, right, it's time to get out. My price action gets stuck here. Yeah, let's see. What is going on with TradingView today? Nice work. I'm still in this trade, guys. I've not been stopped out. But my prices are no longer updating again. I don't understand what is going on with TradingView. I mean, maybe I have been stopped out. I can't tell. Very confused. Says my unrealized P&L is $250, but that doesn't seem to make sense. Second time I've had some TradingView issues here today. Both times have made me blind. And see, that should have stopped me out there. It still just says plus 250 unrealized. It was 1050, Brooke. It was 1050. Again, I just don't know if my position is open or not. Oh, exactly what it says here on my screen, right, was what I did. But I still just see an open position. I see prices not changing. And I see a P&L print that doesn't make sense. All I'm doing, guys, is talking you through what I see on my screen. I'm going to try this. Okay, I just closed that trade. Weird. Right at entry price, right at entry price. Again, I don't know if that was reflected or not, guys. I don't know if that was reflected or not. Meantime, let's start focusing on some other moves here. Yeah, Brooke, dude, just listen to what I'm saying, right? All I'm saying is I just cleared the trade from my position. I said 2 minutes ago I expected myself to have got stopped out, right? I'm just telling you how I'm clearing my order view window. Just please listen. Okay, so now we'd be looking right at this NQ breakdown here. Reference price would be approximately that area. Stop loss would be 856. Um, Good volume here. Be a one contract play, right? This should be a one contract play, guys. Good volume. Might be able to get a tighter risk or an overreaction pullback here to potentially get two contracts. Be ideal. Nope. Okay, now we got to go aggressive. Looking at 841 as a stop loss. Reference price here, 836, 8 something, 835. Now you're looking at 841. And I could go three contracts here. Hey guys, I am in short 835, 835. Stop loss 842. Okay, took the stop. Minus 372.78. This feels like it's going to be a shake and fake. Yeah, I'm going to try this again potentially. It's still early. We have 5-minute reversal here. Looking at an 847, 48. I think it's still the fake out scenario. Looking at an 853 stop loss. Weird shit going on here today. All right, guys. So I am in short 846.25, 846.25, stop loss 853. Come on. Flirted with disaster. Watching again for a second against flirting with disaster. Doesn't cross the spread. There it has. Okay, so I'm out of this position. Kind of weird weird execution window here today. $850.25. Trying to find myself a very aggressive risk reward here. I could go either green right away, right, or stopped out right away. It's kind of a low vol pullback thesis, right? High vol breakout, low vol pullback, and then here's kind of your reversal confirmation candle. The reference price would be approximately that. I don't think it's going to get quite to that reference price. It just did. All right. Let's see. Okay, watching here. Okay, guys, I am in 855 on the dot, 855 on the dot, 4 contracts, stop loss 850. Oh, why can't I type now? What's going on? So far, so good here, team. So far, so good. Even keep breaking. I'm going to be basically a paranoid schizophrenic, right, in how I am trusting price action here. Gotta pop. It's got to go in my favor, right? It's got to move quickly. Otherwise, I need to get out. Now, so far, much better reaction here, right? So far, much better reaction. But failed breakouts, we're going to have to close aggressively. Now, let's see if this thing still got some juice left. But this is a trade that's doing its heavy lifting with its position sizing. Again, right? Being very paranoid about the quality of price action. Okay, doesn't run from here. I got to get out. Come on. Better. Push, 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 push. Who's in this with me? All right, beautiful. So again, right? I have a plan on how you're going to be managing this trade. We've got very tight risk here, aggressive position sizing. So focus really aggressively, right, on closing your trade as your P&L is increasing. Again, we're watching here now, right? We got a couple reference points. Got to close above, right, that blue line. Might get increasing volume here, but that's a great pop. Beautiful. Okay, now we want to see it to keep going, right? Continuing to show strength here. I'm a little bit paranoid, like I said, right? A little bit paranoid. Yeah, this I don't like. So this is our point where it's got to bounce, right? Find support, fine. Oh, and I said that because thought of pyramiding creeped into my head a little bit. I don't think I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna be a little bit more disciplined. Maybe discipline's not the right term. To be more patient. I don't want to give this back, right? That's the sensation I want to avoid here. I've got more than enough positions. I got 4 contracts. 4 contracts is plenty. So let's see if this thing can get through 70. That's 700 bucks here, right? That's 700 bucks. Makes a big difference. Again, it's pretty aggressive position sizing for the size stop, right? We'd really tight risk here, 5 points. So our position sizing here is doing our heavy lifting, which again, right, force ourselves, right, to really focus then on the quality of our process. Again, we're trying to judge. Nice work, Mark. Right, so we're trying to judge each candle individually, right? Take this on a candle to candle perspective. As long as we continue to close over that blue line, I'm going to be okay for now. Happy to let it consolidate, not happy to let it flush through. That make sense? All right, so that was probably more of a flush through. Okay, so see if it can bounce up. Yep, okay. Good bounce. Now it's got to close here, and then we got to go. That's possibly surviving a worst-case scenario. And again, right, I'm trying to talk myself through these things so that when they happen, it's not unexpected and I don't panic, right? I mean, I literally talked price action through exactly what it wanted to do there, which is like the most annoying thing it possibly could have done. But hopefully no one panicked, closed there. All right, guys. So I have just pyramided into this position further. Right, it's a good hold. My average price is now 858.17. 858.17. And let's see if this thing can pop and break out. My stop loss, right, is approximately right that blue line. Again, right, if we get a close under that price, that's going to be my exit. Catch myself being too aggressive there. Maybe just a tad. Well, I'm out of this. Oh. All right. Got one more attempt here. Stop here would be 853. All right, I'm in short 844. 844. Stop loss 853. Let's see. I have 3 contracts here. Oh, tumultuous session here, or bouncy session, I should say. One trade up, one trade down, one trade up, one trade down. Hate getting chopped to bits. It's so frustrating. Hmm. Well, if this thing can go, we need some serious work here. Down still about $1,000 here on the day. That last trade, pyramiding versus taking profit, cost me a green day. See if this one works out though. Much better reaction here. At 44. Aggressive do I want to be? We paid the price for being just a little bit too aggressive so far. Okay. So average price is now 838. I got 5 total contracts. And my finger is on the X button. Yeah. So let's see if this thing can keep flushing here. Really? There we go, guys. There we go. All right. So a bit more. Looking for a quick little pop. Watch for this move towards the opening range high. But all right. Fuck me. All right. What a life. Come on. Break down. Break down. Break down. Hmm. 32. Come on, get down. Get down. There it goes. All right. Now watch this flush through these lows, guys, right? Watch this flush through these lows. And let's see if this thing can keep cracking. There's 2K, 23, 24. Right, and I'm watching for basically flush towards 800, right? I'm watching for a flush towards 800. Come on. Don't tell me I'm going to pay the price again here. Just a little bit, kind of like a nasty way to get there, if that makes sense. All right, let's watch. Come on, come on, come on. Give me a flush, baby. It feels like 800 wants to be tested. Now, I don't know if that's just like Michael brain, because like my price action's been funky here today. Maybe I'm a little bit frustrated, whatever you want to call it. It does feel like that 800 does want to be tested. Question is, do I have the stomach to hold out until then? Sitting on about 700, 600 bucks now on the day. Not a terrible outcome. But if this thing could keep flushing, right, then I'm in great business. I'm just having a little bit of some trust issues here. And these candles aren't, they're not telling me probably what I want to see either. What do you guys think? Yeah, well, I mean, we're all short right now, Brooke. All right, like you can see my position there on my screen, right? NQ short at 844. It would keep getting stuck, right? Keeps getting stuck at like 820-ish. I'm kind of debating just taking it running. Under 828, I'm green on the day. Above 828, I'm red on the day. So it's kind of like a psychological level here. Well, I just didn't find the exit at the time, Jay. Didn't find the exit. But I'm fighting here, guys. That's what I'm fighting. Trying to make a decision based on the information that I have in front of me, not based on what I want to happen. And let's see if we can get a flush through 820. Come on. Come on. Flush through 820, baby. Come on. Come on. I saw a 20. I think I saw a 20. Flush. Jesus. Well, yeah, you can close your trade at any time, Jay. I just haven't closed it yet, right? You're asking why didn't I close at a random price? I just didn't click close. My target here the whole time has been around 800, right? Or the low of the green or the high of the green box, right? So until I have a reason for that to change, I'm not just going to make up a random price to get out. Hey, here we go. Finally. All right, guys, I'm out. Ironically, Jay, right at your price. Right at your price. 818.25 close. Puts me to 1221.81 on the day. 1221.81 on the day. Woo! And every time I tell myself I want an easy trading day, I get a tough one. Every time I tell myself I want a tough trading day, I get an easy one. I'm going to have to start jinxing myself here. All right, guys, I'm not touching the market here again today. I have a lot of things that have been causing some stress and anxiety, right? The P&L not updating and working the way that I want, way too stressful. The price action being bouncy, not super enjoyable. And yeah, it's been a lot of fake outs and goes here today. I'm not going to do anything else. I've won green. Yeah, I got a long run here today. Got that planned for this afternoon. Everyone feeling? Everyone feeling good? Good close, all things considered. Maybe not perfect, but I'm green because of the pyramids, and we're gonna have to reconcile this P&L because I'm not sure I trust what I see inside my trading view. So I'll take a look once the day is closed. Sandy check, but yeah, a lot of weird shit today. Yeah, that's a very fair statement, Rusty. A very fair statement. Yeah, once to an extent, once you need that pyramid to bail you out, it's a dangerous game. Yeah, I hear that, Mike. Light green. I like that. Yeah, I don't have a way of doing that, Deb, because I'm executing on a different PC, right? So no, I don't have a way of doing that. It was a good close, guys, where we closed. It was a good close. Jesus. All right, how you guys feeling? Yeah, we'll see. Not sure if I'm feeling one more. I'm feeling like I'm happy to get to day 10. Such a tough market at the moment. There's like no margin for error. The second you make a mistake, it just freaking punishes you so fast. I don't know. I don't think I can. I don't think I can talk myself into anything else here. Like it kind of looks like it's bear flagging. Someone said it's going to test 615, pull back, and then go. I don't know who that was, but whoever it was nailed it. Yeah, sorry, 815. Did I say 615? Yeah, it's kind of like equal move lower, equal move higher type day. Now, kind of just fucking around in the middle. Uh, in general, for day trading, leaving a runner isn't usually isn't more profitable than just closing everything all at once. For swing trading, sure, but day trading, not so much. Your risk is too tight. Kind of done too, I think. Yeah, even in the setup alerts channel, I said I'm not touching it. Let's go, Kiki. A great little bounce play. Quick 22 points. How many contracts? Let's go. Oh, almost 1,500 bucks. Good feeling. Like it is frustrating, guys, but this game is literally just keep your risk consistent, right? Or within your numbers. Take your shots and size your play so that you can survive a bunch of losses. Like if you can do that, then pretty much any strategy will work for you. You have to be more selfish than you think with your position sizing or risk. I think there's a little bit of maybe a little like sunstroke here today, or like much time in the sun this weekend. So hot. And just spent all weekend either running in the mountains or biking in the mountains or sleeping by the lake. The color of a toaster strudel. So, any other questions here, team? Anything you guys want to go over? Anything you guys want to break down? Yeah, I'm not going to do anything else. I can see the end of my mental capital. I don't want to don't want to shortchange that. Any questions here, team? Any questions? Sounds good, Mike. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. It's not bad. I mean, it's going fine, but just not been the easiest direction here. So, final call for questions, team. Final call for questions. All right, team. Well, same deal like always. But if you have any questions, hit me up outside of market hours. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, looking forward to catching up with a few of you here in our one-on-ones later this afternoon. And then, yeah, hopefully we can set ourselves up for a good rest of the week. 10 green days in a row, not an easy 10 days, but we keep fighting, keep trading, keep focusing right on the variables we can't control, and hopefully one of these days, right, we're going to break out of this consolidation and not have to trade with such sort of like tumultuous price action. So looking forward to that day here. In the meantime, right, this is just a market where we got to survive until we can thrive. And the more that we can focus on losing small and detaching our ego, right, from our trading, easier it is for us to stay in the game, right? Maintain that mental capital and then look to build out our winning positions. Um, yeah, got a few things I'm going to be looking to test here and figure out, but yeah, I'll introduce those if something does happen or whatever. But yeah, same deal like always, team. If you have any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, looking forward to catching up here later today, and we'll talk soon. Peace.